like it's common sense. Hopped out the Benz like it's common sense. Put a monkey on my feet like it's common sense. Got gorillas in the streets like it's common sense. Stack the money heads up like it's second nature. Gotta stay pulled up like it's second nature. Keep a chip in my ear like it's second nature. Big make me stare like second nature. Says disappear like second.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we put a bow on Week 15 with a good Monday night matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here to his running back. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack.
Here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Let's get into the weeds here a little bit, partner. The Raiders last year, road games only, committed the most penalties in NFL history for the most penalty yardage in NFL history.
Yeah, hard to believe in something they have to shore up when they're playing away from home. And he's going to go down again.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Looking to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. yards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The drive will start with an option going left. Stepping, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. It's their quarterback. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are going to take a 1st quarter lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field, and of course for pass plays. With the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of
that all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 97 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 64 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish it.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll look to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go. Green 30.
They'll look to throw. Shrugs him off. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin. One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
To throw now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. He'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Mumphrey now on the return. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And I think the Chiefs have it, they do. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this, and it is cold, it's also slick that way.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel Not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Going right side here, and that's complete. Past the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them.
Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the third quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll give it here to his running back. They'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. He's at the 40, the 20, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Raiders are pouring it on.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back to throw. James has it. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So out come the Raiders. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Here we go with 2nd and 7.
All right, now look at 56. Look at 56.
They'll set up to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball. And the Raiders have got him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll set up a throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here's Mumphrey. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They run a draw here on second down. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a 1st down.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game.